Creator God, we are your people, and we look to the future with optimism and faith in you. As we pursue our call to provide justice and fullness of life for all people, we pray that every man, woman, and child would learn to love their neighbor as well as their enemies and develop their potential and meet in themselves and in one another. May we enjoy a welcoming community with you as our center, join hand in hand with our brothers and our sisters, and we ask for this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. It's 5:30, June 21st, 2021, and we'll call this meeting of the Fergus Falls City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Fish.
Here.
Piper.
Here.
Tommy.
Here.
Cooper.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Ferguson.
Here.
And Jesperson's also absent.
We have a quorum. First item of business on the agenda this evening is the approval of the agenda, and I will call on Andrew Bremseth, our city administrator. Good evening, Andrew.
Yeah, good evening, Your Honor. Thank you, council members. There is one addition to the agenda this evening, as noted on the agenda, if you grabbed that as you walked in, but resolution approving a 10-year lease for ISD 544 use of Field 5 during the Minnesota State High School League season, and we're proposing that goes on the consent agenda this evening, and a copy of that agreement is on your desks this evening.
Thank you. And with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Brent. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We have one public hearing this evening, and that is for City Project 5955, and we will call on our city engineer, Brian Navarro. Good evening, Brian.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Honor, and members of the council. Yes, before we begin, this will be the final cost hearing for combined project Public Improvement 5955. This is the 2021 Street and Utility Improvement Project. Just give you a little background. This is a reconstruction of the sanitary sewer, water main, storm sewer, water and sewer services, and bituminous street. General location is Bancroft Avenue, extended from Cascade Street to Whitford Street, and then Whitford Street from Alcott Avenue, Channing Avenue. I do have a map that's been presented to this council prior to this project. Before we begin, today will be the hearing date of June 21st of 2021. The due date of these assessment rolls, if they're adopted tonight, would be first installment of August 1st, 2021. The interest rate set at 4%. The assessment term period of 15 years. We did open construction contracts. They have been incorporated, and we determined the final assessment lineal footage of the street without curb and gutter is $89.24 per lineal foot. If you recall, at the preliminary project hearing that was also done, that amount was $89.67. So a little bit less, but not significant. Referring back to the budgetary impact, the total project cost for the construction contract, engineering time, we estimated at $646,572.81. Just to go over the financing, I mentioned this is a 429 statute project. We are estimating the PR bonds special assessment street that will become active in the amount of $132,623.13. The tax levy for our portion of the street would equate to about $142,630.18. Sanitary Sewer Enterprise Fund to supplement the sewer reconstruction is rated at $132,256.29. The water fund, we're estimating at $152,236.41. And the storm sewer estimated amount of $86,826.80 for a total combined funding package of the project cost of $646,572.81. I just want to note we'll be opening up the final cost hearing. Individual notices have been sent out to all special benefiting properties 2 weeks in advance. Publication was sent and published in the Daily Journal. I did hear one comment, but that was even prior to even bidding the project. That was a few days shortly after the preliminary cost hearing back on 4/22/21 from an individual located at 821 South Whitford. We just had some general discussion, just to recap our conversation. They weren't at the hearing, but they said they did receive the notice. Explained what the curb and gutter will be removed with this project, only for what's needed for sewer service replacement as we're going up the right of way. I explained the funding sources, a little discussion about why this wasn't funded, why he's paying for a public street for his portion. And then I went on to explain the next steps for bids, final cost hearing, which we're at here today. So at your time, Your Honor, I'm requesting to open the public hearing for public improvement 5955.
Thank you, Brian. And at this time, we will do that. So we will open the public hearing. City Project 5955, the Whitford and Bancroft Street Improvement Project. Anyone wishing to speak to this project, please step forward. Good evening, Jake.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Good to see you all. I'm Jake Crone. I live at 815 South Cascade. I am one of the properties that's affected by this project. Not necessarily here tonight because I think what I say will change anything, but I would also just hate myself if I didn't come up to say something. So here I am. So I guess I know enough about special assessments, maybe to be dangerous, but not enough, so also probably look foolish. But, so I'm facing a bill of about $9,000 for my share of this project. And I guess I question that because, as far as I understand special assessments, they are legal in that you can be assessed because you derive some benefit from the project in question. And right now, I kind of question what benefit I received from this project. Location of my house on the corner of Bancroft and Cascade has no access to Bancroft. I access my garage and driveway through an alley to the north of my house. And as far as I know, my sanitary sewer doesn't go in that direction either. Although I could be wrong with that. I recently had a $600 bill to root out a drain out to the boulevard, and from the plumber's best estimate, that is located on Cascade Street. So, I understand the need to fix our streets, and certainly Bancroft is not a street in great condition, and the Facebook crowd would certainly pillory it for not being one of the prime streets here in Fergus Falls. But also as a neighborhood street, it serves its function really well. It serves less than 10 houses, and it gets people the last few feet to their house. And I think there is some benefit to that, but to those of us who aren't necessarily affected or see any visible benefit from this project, I question the cost of the project, and I also question, I think, just restoring the street to the way it was. One thing I certainly see is my neighbors using that street every day on their walks. Was there ever talk about maybe reducing the street width and installing a sidewalk along that stretch of the street? If not, why not? We certainly recognize the benefits of catering to the people side of our population in the downtown riverfront improvement project, making our spaces more people-friendly. Why can't we do the same thing for a project like this? If I'm being asked to pay $9,000, I would certainly love to see a street that serves all people, not just cars. I think that's all the comments I have, so thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jake. Anyone else wishing to speak to this project? With that, we will close the public hearing, and it's back to the council. Brian, did you want to maybe just address the method for assessments, just to refresh the council and the public of how that is determined?
Certainly. And before that, too, I just want to note, too, that there's no assessment for the sanitary sewer replacement as well. And I don't know if I heard that wrong. The assessment amount to special benefit is only in regards to a portion there of the street, the frontage. Per our policy, these residents are assessed for the 12 feet abutting their property 12 feet of the road surface, bituminous surface. The city's portion is the center portion. So when you look at the geometrics and everything, it's a 12-foot width that the benefiting property owner is being assessed for. The city has a center 9 feet, and the other adjacent owner on the other side of the street has the other 12 feet. So it's a portion of, and it's in a 5-ton road section as well, based on our assessment policy of less than 2,000 vehicles per day. So it is the, that is the lowest amount that we have for assessment rates within the city. I also just want to point out, for the preliminary engineering report, we did do appraisals for this project, and it was determined too, though the special benefit versus the market value was considered reasonable, that we're proposing to assess.
Thank you, Brian. Scott?
While you're at the podium, Brian, maybe you could answer Jake's question regarding the sidewalk, if there was, if that was even considered, or if, what would it take to consider adding a sidewalk to this while it's being reconstructed?
I don't know portion of the sidewalk is on, what we're referring to. I'd have to look at a little bit more. Is there, I'm assuming there's an existing sidewalk. We're pretty much replacing as what is there. We're looking to make geometric improvements, drainage improvements as well. Any sidewalk that would be added to the project would be incorporated into the assessments as well, along with driveways or any additional features as well.
I guess as I understand it, there's no sidewalk on either side of the street now. Is that right, Jake?
That's correct.
And, yeah, from the map I've seen, it doesn't show that there was one. So adding one, you know, it seems to me it would probably add, you know, even more than the 9,000 or whatever the particular amount might be for any given home. You know, now they'd be not only dealing with the street, but having that, but, so I don't know that it would be an advantage as far as, you know, what it would cost the homeowners, but it might be an advantage as far as the points that Jake made for pedestrian friendliness and that kind of thing. But
Yeah, I would keep in mind too, and I understand, I don't know what other features, such as if right away, I believe, but if we have any other trees too, we gotta look at the constructability of a sidewalk. I do recall Bancroft as being a pretty excessive slope coming down where it does meet Cascade Street. I'm not sure that's something we'd have to look at too, if it would meet EDA guidelines, as far as longitudinal grades matching into Cascade. But no, we have not simply reviewed all that, done that amount. Did some preliminary work, but nothing was shown through the preliminary hearing of that request. This is the final cost hearing. That's where we're at right now.
Well, I'm not looking to throw it back into full-scale engineering, so don't get me wrong there. It just seems that there might have been an opportunity there that, whether it was missed or whether it was ignored or whether it was checked out and thought to be not relevant, you know, I guess I'm just kind of looking for some clarity there.
Would it be reasonable, as when we do these reconstruction projects through residential neighborhoods, just to have, just have the numbers of what it would cost to construct and I know it probably goes a little deeper than simply just the cost, and each project's going to be slightly different if there's a sidewalk on, either the blocks that are adjoining. And I'm quite certain that some property owners wouldn't be in favor of adding a sidewalk for the additional cost, but I know that there are some that would, and I would certainly think that sidewalks add value to a neighborhood. Again, I don't know if we're at a point where we're going to do any re-engineering on this project, but just going forward, if we have reconstruction projects through residential neighborhoods, at least so we know and have that opportunity to weigh the benefits of what a sidewalk would cost. Because there's trees that possibly need to be taken down. I know each one would be unique.
No, I certainly, we can look at that more in the preliminary engineering report. More detailed information would come once we start final design to actually figure out what it would entail to add a sidewalk in those areas, so, and then the associated costs.
Sure. Thank you, Brian. Any other questions or comments from the council? Would someone like to offer a resolution adopting the final cost hearing?
I'll offer that.
I'm sorry, the final cost assessment. Thank you, Krista.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jim. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Hager.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Arneson.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. And then under awarding of bids relating to the same project, City Project 5955, the Whitford Bancroft Street Improvement Project, awarding of the construction services contract to C&L Excavating in the amount of $493,569.90. Someone would like to offer that resolution?
Offer, Your Honor.
Thank you, Justin.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Comments? Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Farman.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hermanson.
Yes.
That resolution is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jake. There are no petitions or communications this evening. Under the consent agenda, there's 4, with the addition of the contract between the school district and the city for Field 5, for a total of 5 items on the consent agenda. If anyone wants to talk about any of them individually, we can remove them. Or I would entertain a resolution accepting the consent agenda.
I'll offer that.
Thanks, Jim.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Brent. Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Farman.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hermanson.
Yes.
That resolution is approved. Under ordinance and resolutions, tonight we have the second reading of Ordinance 14, 8th Series, Code of Ethics. And this has been to the committee. We've discussed it at the council. It's had its first reading. If anyone has any questions or comments, we can address them to our city attorney. Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Farman.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hermanson.
Yes.
That ordinance is approved. Under the second item, resolution accepting the American Rescue Plan funds, I'll call on Andrew Brumseth.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Council members, as you all know, the American Rescue Plan has allocated several $1 million to cities in Minnesota, and we don't, as of this evening, know what our final amount is, but we believe it's going to be north of $1.5 million. And just procedurally, the League of Minnesota Cities has provided a model resolution for cities to approve at the governing body level, and then we submit that to the state of Minnesota to have the funds released. Half of the funds will be released upon that request. The other half will be released in 12 months. We have until the end of 2024 to spend these funds. There is a lot of guidance from the Treasury as to how these funds can be spent, what eligible uses there are. We're continuing to work through that, and I would propose, similarly to the CARES funding, we would work with the Tax Levy Committee and bring recommendations back to the City Council. So nothing has been decided in terms of what this looks like. We're just simply asking for the formal action this evening to be able to submit this resolution and release the first round of funds and have those held locally.
Thank you, Andrew. Someone like to offer that resolution?
I'll make that.
Thank you, Brent.
I would second it.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Farman.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hermanson.
Yes.
That resolution is approved. Next item is a resolution authorizing the city to proceed with the sale of property located at 725 West Maple Avenue and enter into an agreement with Leslie Flugstead to represent the city in this transaction. And Andrew, do you want to?
I do, yes.
Talk to us?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Council members, I wanted to get your guys' direction this evening on this property because the last few times we've talked about it, we were under the understanding we may need to either move the home off the property or demolish the home based on the stormwater concerns that we have witnessed in the past. But in working with Rolf and the League of Minnesota Cities, we've found language that we're comfortable with, and we fully intend to disclose the extent of the stormwater concerns which do not impact the home or the garage. And as we toured this home and looked at it, we really understood that this is a nice home in good condition, and there's absolutely no reason for the home to be removed or demolished, and it will serve as a good residence for somebody in town. So staff would like to proceed with selling the home and allowing it to serve its purpose, fully disclosing the issues and what we've observed as it relates to stormwater running over the front lawn, and then also to have language within any purchase agreement that would hold the city harmless and protect us from future claims. So that's the direction I'm looking for. And then we have visited preliminarily with Leslie Flugstead, who has looked at the home, also believes it's a home that's marketable. And given the current real estate market, the city may actually come out in a good shape on the resale of this property that was acquired last year. So the action this evening I'm looking for would be a resolution authorizing us to move towards the sale of the property, enter into that agreement with Ms. Flugstead, and then knowing that purchase agreement, if we are to enter into one, would come back to the city council for action, and that would be acted on over a 2-meeting span like we do with all land transactions.
Thank you, Andrew. And we can accomplish this through a resolution.
I'll make that.
Thank you, Brent.
I'll second.
Thank you, Scott. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Ingberg.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Munson.
Yes.
Ernst.
Yes.
That resolution is approved. Item number 4 is a resolution authorizing the city to retain the consulting services of Baker Tilly regarding a tax abatement from Prairie View Development as requested by Donovan Rogness. And we'll call on our Community Development Manager, Clara Beck. Good evening, Clara.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. So you have in front of you a memo that is requesting it's giving city staff the opportunity to work with Baker Tilly on a tax abatement request. Just for a little bit of background, during the tax rebate program that we've got running, you've been hearing from Donovan Rogness with some twin homes that he's been building in town. Those have been going very well. He is interested in doing another similar setup to those twin homes in a different location in town. However, infrastructure costs for getting things like sewer and water are very expensive. So in order to help try to offset the costs of development and to be able to move a little bit more quickly to get homes onto the market, Donovan approached the city about some options for subsidy. And one of the options that we've landed on is tax abatement. In order to work through that process, we do need to retain the services of a consultant who can walk us through the analysis portion of it and just getting all of the bits and pieces in order. So we are requesting that staff be allowed to work with Baker Tilly toward coming up with a tax abatement agreement with Mr. Rogness.
So this would just authorize staff to move forward in working with them, and any
Correct.
agreement would be brought back before the...
And I should say, all of the costs will be covered by the developer. He has to pay into escrow in order to be able to go through the process, and he has made those initial payments.
So, just one last question for me. That's similar to like a tax increment financing agreement where they bring back a proposal and the justifications, and then the city council can discuss, debate, and act on anything at that time.
Exactly, yep.
Okay, thank you, Clara. Someone like to offer that resolution?
I'll offer that.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Brent.
I'd add just one comment.
Yes, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Just to be clear, there would be potentially a request for 2 separate abatements within the same development, and I just want you to be aware that if you see 2 requests come back, that's why. So we're talking about different options related to this development, and there may be 2 requests, but all costs for both would be borne by the developer.
For preparing the proposal. that the
Correct.
City council would then have an opportunity
correct.
to discuss. Yes, Tom.
Scott has his hand up first.
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I think Clara mentioned it, but there'll be a cost to hiring Baker Tilly for this, but the developer's going to pay all of that upfront or as it's needed or however it comes along then, right? So there isn't, at this point, going to be any cost to the city to go through this process.
That's correct.
Okay.
We just wanted to get it on your radar and say, hey, we would like to work through this process. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, and I'll just say this is a really good example of a public-private partnership where a developer has taken the initiative to plan this project, and we found a way where the city can work with the developer and it won't be a burden on taxpayers. And and by building these twin homes, the idea anyway is that people may move out of single-family homes into these twin homes, thereby freeing up those homes for interested buyers to purchase and expanding our housing options. So I'd really like to see things like this happen. It's a good step in the right direction.
Thank you, Tom.
Mr. Roofer, if I could ask if you could put your mic down, I can't really hear you. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Councilmember Anderson.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions, Scott?
But the one question that probably will come up, because it does with the TIF things as well, is the answer to the but-for question, is whether this project would end up going forward even if we did not do a tax abatement. So when Baker Tilly's putting together their notes, if they could kind of highlight that, that would be great.
That's exactly what they'll do.
All right, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Haber.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
That resolution is approved. Item number 5 is a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Fergus Falls and Greater Fergus Falls. And Claire, did you want to talk? I know we have representatives from Greater Fergus Falls here as well. Welcome. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a follow-up from the discussion that we had at the last council meeting about entering into a contract for economic development services with Greater Fergus Falls. The request of council was to come back with some language that would make up a memorandum of understanding between the two parties. Basically, we just wanted to solidify the partnership a little bit and make some roles a little bit more clear as to who was doing what during the development process. I think we have worked together to come up with a memorandum of understanding that does that and also allows for a little bit of some partnership moving forward to maybe clarify things even further by having it be kind of a living document that we can continue working on together.
Thank you. Rebecca or Natai, did you have anything?
She said it very well. Thanks, Claire.
Yes, she did. Thank you, Clara. Someone like to offer that?
I will offer that, Your Honor.
Tom? Thank you.
I would second it.
Thank you. Jim? Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Haber.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
That resolution is approved. Tonight we have claims in the amount of $1,476,745.12. If there's any questions, we will do our best to answer them without Bill here.
Oh, yeah, no bill. That's a deal breaker.
I'll offer the resolution to pay the bill.
Thank
table it to
Thank
next
you, Jim.
I'll second.
Thanks, Krista. Roll call, please.
Fish.
Yes.
Haber.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
That resolution is approved. There are no board, committee, or department reports, and there are no reports from staff or administrative officers. Under old and unfinished business, we have an update on the airport management and fixed base operator contract with Sky Cruise Services. And I will call on Justin Arneson, council member.
Good evening, council. Just a quick update. I know at our last council meeting, we had, our goal was to come before you tonight for a recommendation from the working group. Just want to get this in front of you. We got it midweek last week from staff and Rolf and the consultant. So the working group, under a short period of time with this complex contract, wasn't able to meet Thursday or Friday last week before our meeting tonight. So we felt it was in everybody's best interest to get it out there. This is a very, very rough draft. I know staff's already worked on making quite a few changes to it. So we have a meeting scheduled hopefully this week with the working group, and then at our next council meeting, that will be our goal, to have a recommendation before you with the final rough draft for you guys, for the council to consider. Did I miss anything, Andrew or Rolf? Nope. Brian? Krista?
Thank you, Justin. Thanks for your work on that. Anyone, council? Yes, Tom.
And you certainly don't have to go into detail, but, I mean, how does this compare to the agreement that we had with the previous operator? Are there major changes?
It's more comprehensive, primarily because I think the FBO obligations are, more complicated. It's very it's based upon some of the representations that were made, and basically to make it very clear as to what the expectations will be, and to make it very clear as to the management and responsibility to the city engineer. The FBO reports to the city engineer. So it's more involved I can't remember how many years ago the last FBO agreement was entered into, 15 years ago, 12 years ago?
12.
A lot of water's
One
gone under the
time.
bridge. Your attorney, city attorney's also become more knowledgeable in the last 15 years as to what should be in these things. And we're working directly with a consultant that has direct knowledge of this and many good recommendations as to what we should incorporate into these agreements. So, so that we can have a very fine, polished document that there's really no questions moving forward and provide clear guidance as to the expectations.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, committee members. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions of either city attorney or members of the committee? Thanks, Justin. There is no new business this evening. I don't have any announcements. Lynn, do you have any announcements?
Just what's on the agenda here, there's the holiday coming up, so lots of changes to hours and services.
Sure. Yeah, so check your utility bill for those updates. It's hard to believe that we're already making announcements for the July 4th holiday. Anything else, Tom?
Quick side note, speaking of fireworks, July 4th, if Fergus Falls is my number one priority, nobody doubts that. But if you happen to be in Dalton this Saturday, there's a fireworks show, and this guy is one of the pyrotechnicians, so.
Oh, geez.
I know, right? I know.
Bring a fire
Yeah.
extinguisher.
You want to come and see a show?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that. All right, anything else to come before the council?
Safe distance.
If not, we're adjourned.